Hi everyone, it's Wally Dellenbach, and this is an informational video about drilling acrylics and what not to do when it comes to drilling any kind of acrylic drum shell. Okay, so as you'll notice right off the bat here, I've got a drill press set up, and this is a 22-inch red Vistalite base shell. It's a remnant of a drop-off piece that I've cut. And so we'll talk real quickly here about twist drills. So there's your two-fluted twist drill, and this is a machinist drill bit, and it comes out of my drill bit set here, of one of many. And so basically the design of the drill bit, it's got a couple purposes here. You've got the point, and then you've got the flutes. You've got your edge here where it's sharpened. Okay, see right there, it helps cut the material away. Okay, now what this edge here and the flutes are designed at, especially this corner right here, that little edge, it's designed to grab the work. Okay, so when you're pushing your drill down into your work, we'll call the shell the work. The tool bit or the drill bit wants to grab the work and pull it up into the drill bit. Okay, so what that causes is when you drill through the shell, it causes several things actually. When it drills and penetrates the acrylic, it starts to scratch up and mar the inside diameter of the hole. Okay, and what that does is that causes crazing down the road. Okay, another thing that it does is you're not necessarily, and that's why it's set up on a drill press, is that when you drill freehand, you're not guaranteed that you're drilling perpendicular to the radius of the shell or toward the center, I guess, well, let's just call it an imaginary center of the drum shell. So those are things we want to keep in mind. You don't want to really drill at an angle, because like when you have your whatever kind of hardware that you're using, hardware typically has these little things called mounting bosses that go inside of the shell and you put your mounting screws up into. Now the reason why you want to drill perpendicular is because let's say that you drill at your hole at an angle and then you put your mounting hardware on, and there's kind of an interference when that mounting boss goes down into the hole. If there's an interference and you tighten the mounting screws on it, it's going to cause tension on the acrylic, and you have more of a chance of the acrylic breaking, okay, or cracking, and you don't want that. Okay. A third thing is that when, of course, with the condition of the material and the drill bits wanting to pull up into the drill bit itself, when you get through the other side, the inside diameter of the shell has a tendency to crack, because the drill bit, your standard machinist drill bit, is too aggressive for the acrylic. Okay. So it causes cracking on the inside diameter of the shell, which just leads to a myriad of problems. You could get crazing. Your shell is going to crack all the more. It's kind of like a piece of tempered glass in a way, acrylic is in that if you might scratch, and this has happened to me like on a fireplace door with a tempered glass, and I put a scratch in it and the thing just exploded about a half hour later. Okay. Acrylic is kind of the same way, and when you fracture the inside of the diameter of the shell through the drill hole, anything can happen. I mean, that thing can crack over time if there's any kind of force or pressure put it. So the point is you want to eliminate any kind of breakout. Okay, I'll call that breakout. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to fire this up, and we're going to go ahead and drill a hole. And you'll notice that even when I put force on with my arm here going down, you'll notice that it's going to push the shell. The shell's going to want to kind of flex downward. You can see it maybe a little bit. See how the shell flexes? And that's like a fourth problem right there, a fourth condition that it's going to cause you problems, because what happens is you're pushing down here on your work with your drill press. You're pushing your shell down. See how the shell flexes a little bit? And so naturally the shell wants to return to its original state and flex back up. So you've got a couple more forces working against you. You've got the downward motion of the drill press, the force. You've got the drill bit doing its work by plowing through your material and pulling itself up into the drill bit. And then you've got this other condition here of the shell flexing and then pushing back. So, I mean, it's got disaster written all over it, okay? And there's no way to avoid it, even on a drill press. So, I'm going to go ahead and hold on to the work. And you'll notice, so I'm drilling, you hear that? It's kind of, you could hear a little grind. Okay, so even at that, and let me see if I could kind of, well, I'm not going to move the camera. But you'll notice here on the chips, they look kind of like pinkish, okay? So, and you heard it grind a little bit, and you can even drill with these, a two-fluted drill bit, and you'll hear it whistle. Now, one of the things that you could do, and I'm not telling you at all to drill with these drill bits. This is what not to do, okay? But best case scenario is to eliminate the whistling is to put a little, and I'll put oil on it because acrylic, this is just standard household oil, and this will alleviate the whistling, okay, or any kind of extra added friction, and it also reduce the heat. And that's another condition. So we've talked about like 5 conditions already about adverse effects of drilling acrylic. The 5th one is heat. So you start drilling into this, you're creating heat. You put household oil on it, or like Dawn dishwashing soap with water, and you can put it in a spray bottle and spray it. Okay, so that'll eliminate the friction and give it some lubrication while you're drilling it, okay? But when you drill anyway, you're causing friction, which creates heat on the acrylic, and when you heat up that acrylic, you give it an opportunity to craze down the road. I mean, there's just so many pitfalls to even doing it what you would think would be the right way of doing it. I got it on a drill press, I got a drill, I've got some lubrication, ideal conditions, so let's go for it. It's still kind of whistling. I don't really want to let go of my work in case so what I'm going to do is back the drill out, or drill bit. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of oil in there, okay? And I'm not being aggressive or anything for the sake of demonstration. And this is a small diameter bit. Okay, so let's stop that. What I mean by saying, well, it's a small diameter bit is that the drill bit isn't necessarily so aggressive. This is just a drill bit for drilling out your holes for your lugs, okay? Your standard size drill bit for a Ludwig. And I'm just going to go ahead and we'll flip this over. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, so here's the hole. But around, hold on a second here, let me get this. I don't know if you're able to see it, but around this hole, on the outside edge of it, so the outside diameter of the hole, there's chips all around here, okay? And like I said, let me wipe this off because we're seeing a bunch of residue from the oil on the other side. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not. But even the smallest chips in there, you're going to think, oh wow, I got away with it. I didn't make any big chips. Still, the reality is that there's chips there, and they're gonna cause you problems down the road. Okay, so what's the solution to the problem? Well, as it turns out, RCI, whoop, right there. RCI is coming out with a set, actually 2 different sets of acrylic drill bits, okay, and they're going to make them, sell them to the public, and they're not releasing them yet, but here in a month or so, and you're going to want to write to RCI Co, RCI 2001 at yahoo.com, write Romano Catone, okay, tell him you want to get in line for one of these sets, okay, he's offering 2 different sets. I think one is going to be specifically for drilling Ludwig, and I think the other one's going to be kind of a standard set. For drilling acrylics, okay? And I think the price range is anywhere from like $95 to $160, depending on the set that you buy, okay? And the conditions are going to be the same, you know? When you get the set of drills, which I don't have yet, which I'm going to get, they're going to come with the drill set. There'll be a box to it, And there'll also be drilling speeds and not speeds and feeds, but drilling speeds, because speeds, when you have your drill press, you always want to make sure too that you can adjust the speed of it, because the speed is really important. Okay, if it runs too slow, if your drill bits run too slow, it has more of a tendency to want to grab your work and pull it away. Okay, so anyway. They're going to make this available to the public, I hope, within the next couple of months, because I want a set. And so there you go. Once again, it's Romano Catone, RCICO2001 at yahoo.com. Okay? And you never, people, let me make it really clear. You never want to use standard drills of any kind to drill into your acrylic. You especially don't want to freehand, because it's going to cause a myriad of problems for you. And gosh, if you get in a jam, guys can always contact me. Typically contacting me through Facebook is kind of, or I'm sorry, YouTube's kind of complicated. I don't get on YouTube that often. Especially to view comments. I'm sorry to disappoint, but anyway, you can contact me through Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Wally Dellenbach in Delphi, Indiana, and we can chat all you want about what to do and what not to do. This video is an example of what not to do, okay? Don't go and say, oh, I saw Wally Dellenbach's video and he had it on a drill press and he drilled with a standard two-fluted drill bit and it's okay. That's not what I'm telling you, okay? This is an example. This is kind of the best example of thinking that you have the best conditions, but you're still going to goof up. Okay, so I've sorted five outcomes, I guess, or 5 extremes when you're drilling. What can happen and the reasons why. What not to use, and even using household oil or Dawn lubricant as a lubricant isn't going to help, because you're still going to drill and you're still going to break out chips on the other side of the drum. Okay, especially using bigger drill bits. Boy, they're really aggressive, and they'll tear the work right up. Okay, work referring to the shell. So everyone, thanks for watching the video, taking the time to watch my stuff. I'm only trying to educate the consumer, and for the most part with these videos is teach you what to do and what not to do, okay? So everyone, be cool. Bye.